Well, it is a special live broadcast from Bowness today to celebrate the resilience of this community as we all endure the water crisis in the city. And Bowness has had it tougher than everyone else. Now, there is one organization in this city that showed up strong to help Bonesians. So today we dedicate True Calgarian to the organization of Guru Nanak Free Kitchen Calgary. Joining us is one of the volunteers who's been with the organization since day one. Welcome to the show, Lakbir Chima. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for having us. It's an absolute pleasure that you're doing this and getting the word out to the Bonesians about what we have done for the community. Thank you.
Earlier in the situation, Bowness was under a boil water advisory, and water was a true crisis in the community. And then you showed up with your organization, and you had cases and cases and cases of water and so much food to give. So explain to me how the Guru Nanak Free Kitchen partnered with Bowness to help. Explain how that relationship happened.
Well, Sarah, when a crisis occurs, people react in different ways. And we either enter in flight, fight, or freeze mode. Our brain is overstimulated. And based on our entire life experience, our brain chooses how to react to the crisis. We at Guru Nanak Free Kitchen know only one thing, and that is, how can we serve our community? So when we heard about the local state of emergency that has been declared by our mayor, our first response was, what can we do to help out in this scenario? And Sandeep Sandhu, our director at Guru Nanak Free Kitchen, swung into action, and immediately he procured a full truckload of bottled water. About the procurement, all I can say is that the timing around the procurement and delivering 35,000 bottled water to the Bowness Community Association was no less than a miracle. And we were not surprised by the way the whole situation panned out. On the day of the emergency declaration, our team visited Bowness Community Association to drop off 6,000 bottled water and to understand what their needs were. Once we had a good understanding of the needs, we organized a big event to distribute water and food. As we all know, inflation is through the roof. And at these trying times, we couldn't see the community using their savings to buy water and cut their weekly grocery budget for water. So we collaborated with the community association and proposed that not only we will deliver water, but we will distribute a full truckload of fresh produce to the community. To sum it up, this was all handled as per God's will. And we are so glad that we could stand shoulder to shoulder with the community members of Bowness in these difficult times and show them that they're not alone in this, and we were all in this together.
I'm amazed. If you saw any of the videos and photos, the sheer amount of food you had was astounding, but it was also the kind of food you had. You had fresh salads and vegetables and just mountains of bananas. So I thought it was really important that not only did you have food to give Bowness, but you had fresh fruits and vegetables to give as well. That's what I thought was really outstanding, Lakbir.
Well, all the fresh produce and water which was secured from our donors in the city and outside of the city, we have a good network with certain organizations where we rescue food, and we have collaborated with them in the past. These organizations know us and our track record in distributing these items to the rightful sources. So whenever there is an opportunity where food can be rescued, Sandeep works endless hours to secure food for such things. So Sandeep worked with them very closely to capitalize on these opportunities and bring the food to the people who need it. So food pantries have always been very welcoming to these donations, and it has been an absolute pleasure working with these people who run these pantries.
And I just want to backtrack because the numbers seemed outstanding. How much water did you bring to Bowness from the good volunteers at the Guru Nanak Free Kitchen? What was the water total again?
35,000 bottled water.
35,000.
That is correct.
35,000. You secured 35,000 bottles of water.
Absolutely, and we take pride in that. And we thank all the volunteers because it was no less of a challenge to secure that much amount of bottled water, but distributing that in an organized way and the way we do it at Guru Nanak Free Kitchen, I raise my hat to those volunteers.
How many volunteers are part of your organization?
We've lost count. Whenever we've lost count because, this is not a single person who can do this. And we have a full-fledged team. When the word goes out that we need help and we're going to be serving a certain community, our volunteers show up in numbers that you cannot imagine. And the way we do it is very organized. And we come to your organization, leave the place the way it was, and make sure that there's no debris left behind. So we can't count the number of volunteers we have, but every time we show up, we are in good number.
I want to say that True Calgarian is brought to you by Lone Star Mercedes. Visit them on Glenmore Trail and Deerfoot. Lone Star Mercedes driving luxury. Joining us right now is Lakbir Chima, one of the volunteers with the Guru Nanak Free Kitchen Calgary, which distributed 35,000 bottles of water to Bowness and just tables and tables and tables of fresh food earlier when the crisis was truly unfolding. And I want to say, Lakbir, I still see your organization on all the social media channels reaching out to Bowness saying, does anyone need water? Is there anything we can still do to help you? And so your connection, your offerings of help are still there.
Absolutely. And thankfully, the boil water advisory has been lifted for the community. However, we did reach out in case anyone that would like water delivered. We have reached out to the senior homes to assess if there is a need for bottled water, as we are in a position to deliver it to them and if there is a need. And in terms of the appreciation, I would like to say Bonasians welcomed us with open arms and assisted us in the whole event. People were very thankful, and we heard amazing stories while we were there. I would like to thank them for their resilience, and thank again each and every volunteer that showed up to help the community. Without them, this would not have been possible. So Sarah, I can't express in words how much we enjoyed serving the community, and they showed up and they volunteered alongside with us.
I just want to say thank you. It's been lovely speaking with you this afternoon. You can find out more about the Guru Nanak Free Kitchen on numerous places of social media, what you do, your involvement in the community. Thank you so much for the work you do, for joining us today. I can hear the love you have for the community in your voice. So have a fantastic afternoon, Lakbir, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us, Sarah. It's a pleasure talking to you as well.